we always want to sort of take ourselves away from sentiment and emotions. So I want to present to us heavy metals in soils and also the food, our food, and as well as also some solutions that we can harness going forward.
Doc, go on.
So what are heavy metals? Heavy metals, you know, they are for collection of predominantly what is called elements that exist in minute quantities and usually below 1 milligram per kilogram. And when they are more than this, they cause some deleterious health consequences. So then what are some of the examples? We have copper, we have zinc, we have iron, we have manganese. Those ones are essentially heavy metals because those ones are needed by man and also by plants. So those are essential. Then we have others that are non-essential, like arsenic, lead, mercury. We don't need them, and plant does not also need them. So even a minute fraction of it becomes concerning. Then what are some of the sources of these heavy metals? Naturally, we can they are in the soil. Okay, naturally we get them from weathering of rocks, oxidation, and also, but then anthropogenic activities like abandoned mining sites, industrial pollution, indiscriminate and poor disposal of mine waste, all these things will lead to trigger the heavy metals become more concerning. But of course, they are already in the soil. But now, when the anthropogenic activities become concerning or becomes more, then they now are triggered. Then we can ingest this heavy metal. We can eat them through consumption of water. When we eat crops that are cultivated on polluted lands, then when we come into dermal contact with our skin, we can also get contaminated with some of this heavy metal. Then we can also inhale it. The breathing of dust and fumes can all expose us to heavy metals. Now, like we see in this example over here, this is the paper we did in 2014, 2024, and we can see here where this is a Galamsey site. Now, it will release arsenic, cadmium, mercury, lead into the environment. Then now we can ingest it. We can ingest it. Let me use the. So we can ingest it through accidental ingestion of contaminated soil, also through geophagy. Geophagy is a deliberate eating of soil. We'll look at it. Then through inhalation and dermal contact. Then the human health impact will be born. Then we can get access to, we can get effects with skin cancer, neurological disorders, kidney damage, respiratory disorders, cognitive malfunctions, deformities in unborn babies, and all that. Now, we have here, this is a typical example I brought to illustrate how much we love our rice. You'll be eating rice, but unfortunately, we'll be eating arsenic. Because rice and arsenic are like, they are like brothers. It is because of the condition under which rice is grown. Rice is grown in paddy fields, and paddy fields are usually, because they are anaerobic. Anaerobic means that they are waterlogged. So because of that, it facilitates the uptake of arsenic in rice fields. So that's what we have. Now, when you go to Bangladesh, we have a very serious cases with arsenic pollution and its effects, because their problem is actually arsenic contamination with groundwater, the parent material. So they have quite. So these are some of the examples of the arsenic poisoning from Bangladesh. Then we also know that lead is very toxic. Lead in young children, in adults, and in pregnant women. Lead is a non-essential metal, and so its minute fraction in the blood, in the brain, in the liver, in the kidney, all these things will lead to serious health consequences. Now, cell mining, as we can see, so you see the way they have actually stockpiled their waste indiscriminately, with no measures to actually stop it from polluting the environment. Then you can see at the top there, when it is haphazardly stored. Then you can see also from here, when artisanal mining, Galamsey, they just use the water and release it indiscriminately with no attempt to actually safeguard the environment against some of this release. Then we have mercury. Mercury is one of the major elements associated with artisanal small-scale mining. And mercury is very toxic. That is why mercury, we have something called Minamata Convention. Minamata Convention is a sort of a convention that countries might sign onto in order to protect their citizens against mercury effect. So each and every stage of the artisanal small-scale mining, which is the Galamsey, where they go for the rock from the pits, then they bring it to this place, they grind it. Then over here too, we can see that they put it here on the sluicing board. Then after taking it from here, they will send it to they will take it to a basin where they add mercury. Now after they have added the mercury is added to form amalgam with the gold particle. So the mercury will sort of it will attract the gold particle, but then it is not pure. So they bring it here to refine it in fire. Then now as they do this, mercury is released into the atmosphere, which is elemental mercury. Elemental mercury undergoes what is ionization. It becomes mercury. It becomes charged. Then it will fall into the water body when it rains. Now, when it falls into the water body, it changes to what is called metamercury, where it becomes organic, and this metamercury actually accumulates in the fishes that we eat, and it causes something called biomagnification. Then we have here children who are playing in an arsenic contaminated mine tailing that has been abandoned. And I took this picture in 2018 when I was doing my PhD. So what is the problem? The first problem here, we did this work from Amancia West in Ashanti region. Now what we did was that we went for soil samples from Amancia West, then we subjected it to flooding. Now we can see the total element content of heavy metals in this artisanal small-scale mining soil in Amancia West. The weight average is 6.2. What we measured was around 10.71. So we say that the place is contaminated with more than 173, more than 1.73 folds. Then cadmium is also carcinogenic. You can see cadmium that we measured was more than 180 times the world soil average. Then we have mercury. Mercury, it was more than 1.74 folds than the world soil average. Then we also have here lead. All these things that are put over here are carcinogenic. Lead is also of concern, but it's more than 1.16 folds than the world soil average. Then we also measured the content in the slurry water. The slurry water is the one like the one that's turbid, the turbidity water. Those ones that are looking like chocomilo. Okay. Then so we compared whatever we measured to the World Health Organization standard. So we can see cadmium, the World Health Organization standard is 0.003, and what we measured was 11.67 times higher. Then mercury was 44.45 higher. Then arsenic was more than 66.7 folds higher. Lead was 3.0 higher. Then we also use it to cultivate. This year we use it from, this one was from PCR, and we wanted to see how when you use those sites that are contaminated with heavy metal for planting of what is called lettuce. So the soil here was cultivated with lettuce, and we have arsenic over there. The world soil average is 6.2. The arsenic that we measured in the sample was 2,562.76 milligram per kilogram. And this one is more than 413.33 folds more than the above the world soil average. Then cadmium, the level is world soil average is 0.02. What we measured was 3.57. This is more than 17 178.5 higher. Then we have mercury. Mercury was more than 4.38 higher. Then now let's see the lettuce, the plant. So this is now in the food. Now in the food. Now we have some reference limit. There are quite a number of reference limits that you can use. Now the mercury in the lettuce you measured was 2,562.76, which is more than 3,660.96 higher than the limit in food. And this was the fresh weight of the lettuce. This one is not the soil. This is the lettuce. Now, this one is chromium. Chromium was 27.58 higher. Now, mercury was more than 109.5 higher. Then lead was also more than 83.57 higher. Now, let's see another group of plants which are medicinal plants. I did this work in 2021, and I was trying to take a look at how this toxic element or heavy metal accumulates in this.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah.
What you have just presented, how long ago did you do this research?
Okay, so this one was done. This one was done in 2020. I think 2019, 2020.
The figures you are showing us, 2019, 2020.
Yeah, they are in this paper.
What's your suspicion that this would have reduced or mitigated, or now it would have gotten worse?
Okay, so for me, I also tried various remediation measures. So this one that we use manual, we use iron oxide, and manual and iron oxide was able to reduce the uptake of arsenic in the lettuce. But let me finish with the one that I'm presenting.
Okay, let's see if you can do that in a minute for us.
Okay, so this one is now this one was done in 2021. So we wanted to see the uptake in achampon, which is the Comonella obrata, this one. Then fen, then ejama, Aconia cordifolia. This is Lantana camara, this is Urea. So we can see all these plants are medicinal, especially for achampon and ejama.
Right.
Now ejama we can see was able to uptake. Obrata in 2021. So we wanted to see the uptake in achampon, which is the Comonella obrata, this one. Then fen, then ejama, Aconia cordifolia. This is Lantana camara, this is Urea. So we can see all these plants are medicinal, especially for achampon and ejama.
Right.
Now ejama we can see was able to uptake arsenic concentration up to 150 milligrams per kilogram. Now, Comonella obrata took into the shoot 1,200 milligrams per kilogram. The root was 200. Now, titanium, also in achampon, was somewhere around 250 in the shoot, and in the root was 130. Now, we also have copper. Copper accumulation were also very much high. You can see achampon here, 750 in the shoot and 150 in the root. Then zinc. As for zinc, it is somehow as an essential heavy metal. So because of that, plant actually has a higher affinity to take them up. So, but then of course, when they become above a specific threshold, then that becomes a problem. Now, then they were also talking about the FDA was talking about ayolor, right? Now,
yes,
the ayolor that we eat, that the pregnant women eat, we did this work just this year. The act of eating ayolor, which is not food, is called geophagy. Sometimes we eat chalk, sometimes they eat sand, charcoal. All those things are disorders. They are called pica. So we can see a child here who is licking the finger. It's also geophagy. We can see ayolor over here. It was pictures from the UK in one market. So we wanted to see the heavy metals in this IULOC, those ones that are available and those ones that are total. So we bought IULOC from 8 markets here in Kumasi, Iwakwa, Asafo. We have Bantama, we have Central Market, we have Ginasi, we have Crofrom. Then we measured heavy metal total content. Then we also measured what is called the available content. Now let's see, I'll be brief here. Now these ones are total content of copper, cadmium, arsenic, nickel, and those things. Now, this was what happened with the health risk assessment. So we wanted to see the risk when children eat it and when males also eat it and when adult females, especially the pregnant women. Now the threshold over here is supposed to be 1. Now we can see that the threshold over here for ingestion is more than, even sometimes in children getting to somewhere around 1,000 in the IULOC. More than 1,000.
Okay.
You can see males also getting to. I mean, the threshold here, I must emphasize, is supposed to be 1.
Okay.
And yeah, so something I'll end here. Then these are the available content. So when we come to heavy metals, we have those ones that are total content, and we have those ones that are available. What is the difference? The difference is that the total content is the mass, the whole. Now the available content is the one that becomes bioavailable for uptake. The one that can actually be taken into the intestine and also into the bloodstream. So we can see here that from 10 or so to guapa, nickel content was very alarming. Chromium also was alarming. Arsenic, which man does not need it. You can see where it is, where the concentrations are.
Okay.